Well, hello and thanks for joining me once again, and welcome back to more classic racing as we take in round 4 of the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Club's 2019 Racing Championship right here at Carnduff Farm in Strathaven. Yes, welcome back to part 2 of the racing action from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Club's round 4 event from Carnduff Farm in Strathaven. Now we're going to kick things off with the second part of the race programme. So the machines that you see lining up on the line at this moment in time will be the over 60s class. So as you can hear and possibly see, the weather was beginning to ever so slightly brighten up at this stage in the proceedings. So as the over 60s line up for their first race of the day, it looks like an excellent start for Archie Baird on that lovely CZ 360. So as they head to the far side of the track, it still looks like Archie Baird on the CZ with the advantage. We will pick up a few more of the riders as they head towards us. Second place looks very like it's Mike Bell in second place by the looks of it. Stuart Riddle going through there on the CZ. And so as the riders come towards us in this first over 60s race, looks like Archie Baird, number 180, has a substantial lead over second place man. Mike Bell there, number 89 on the Tribsa. Just going through there on the CZ number 118 is Kenny Harper on that 360. CZ. Peter Dobinson just moving through to take that position. So at this point in the afternoon, the rain abated ever so slightly, although it appeared that the wind picked up and was getting increasingly stronger as the afternoon progressed. But as we look to the far side of the track, we see a race leader in this first over 60s class race. That's number 180, Archie Baird on the CZ. Archie, of course, a deep sea diver for his day job, a very dangerous job but very rewarding nonetheless. Coming through there is number 41, that's Peter Dobinson on that lovely Rickman Triumph. Stuart Riddle on the Twinport CZ on the chase. So as the riders come towards us, number 89 that you're looking at the moment is of course Mike Bell on his Tribsa. Going very well in these wet and sticky conditions. And so as we wait for the rest of the chasing pack to follow through, number 72 there is Clifford Hardesty, being chased by number 41, that's Peter Dobinson. Peter occasionally rides his Cotton Triumph, but in this particular case today he has opted to use his Rickman Triumph, where he said to me earlier on that the Rickman Triumph is a much more stable bike to ride in these conditions. So that's Peter Dobinson there, number 41. So there is your race leader, number 180. That's Archie Baird as he heads towards the checkered flag to take his first win in this over 60s class race. Very comfortable win for Archie Baird there on the CZ. So our next scheduled race is the over 50s and the combined over and under 40s class. So as you just await Creaner Bell letting the riders go from the start line, it looks like a good start for Robert Kennedy there on the CCM. As they head to the bottom section of the track, the race leader now seems to be Derek McCauley on that very quick little 250cc Bultaco Persang. So it's Derek McCauley first, Robert Kennedy second, Ian Robertson third, Brian Eyre there, number 71 on the BSA, currently in fourth as they head to the far side of the track. So there is your race leader, that's our Broth man, Derek McCauley on the 250 Spanish Bultaco Persang. Second place man is Robert Kennedy on the CCM. Robert appears to have some kind of ignition problem with the CCM and doesn't sound very good at all, but hopefully Robert will be able to the bike on the track and try and get some valuable points. Yeah, it doesn't sound very good indeed. It sounds like some kind of electrical problem. But there is your race leader, Derek McCauley, number 29 on the little Bultaco. Derek having a quick look behind him there to see where the opposition is at this moment in time. Doing very well on that little 250 Bultaco. Very quick rider, Derek, with many years of experience riding motocross machines, and he appears to be revelling in these wet and sticky conditions here at North Carnduff Farm. And still managing to hold on to that second place position is number 54 there, Robert Kennedy. Still nursing that very sick sounding Alan Clues machine. Hopefully hopefully Robert will be able to keep the bike on track to the finish line. But Ian Robertson is closing very quickly on Robert Kennedy. Ian could be lining Robert up to steal this second place position. So as we look towards our second place rider, that's Robert Kennedy on the CCM, with Ian Robertson hot on his tail now. That CCM still doesn't sound very clever as they take the last lap flag in this race. Yes, it looks like Robert is going to try and nurse the CCM through this final lap and possibly gather some valuable championship points. So there is your race leader, and soon to cross the checkered flag to take his first win of the day. That's Derek McCauley on the 250 Old Tackle Persang, who takes the win in this race. Ian Robertson coming through to take that coveted second place position. Ian, of course, riding that very quick little 360cc YZ Yamaha. So next up we have the pre-1984 class, and as you can hear, the wind was beginning to strengthen as the day went on, but nevertheless I do apologise if the video is slightly shaky at certain bits when you point the camera into the wind. So the pre-1984s are ready for their next race of the day. Looks like we're all good to go. So as they leave the line, it looks like a rocket of a start for number 24. That's Sam Sibbald on that TT500 Yamaha. And so as they make their way to the bottom section of the racetrack, it looks like Sam Sibbald has retained his good start, already beginning to open up a gap on the chasing pack. That's David Loudon there in second spot. And so there is your race leader, that's Sam Sibbald on the TT500 Yamaha, just beginning to stretch the legs of that very quick Japanese 4-stroke machine. Second place is still David Loudon on the YZ 490 Yamaha, as the remainder of the pack come through. Number 17 going through there on the Michael, that's Mike van der Meer. Andy Malik, number 43, in 4th. Mike Dobie going through there in 6th place. So as the race leaders cross the finish line for another lap, it's still Sam Sibbald with a very marginal lead over number 75. That's David Loudon on that very quick 490 Yamaha. This could develop into a really good race between these two very experienced riders. David Loudon, of course, the younger of the riders, but David seems to have got that tight line on the inside and made the move for that number 1 spot. As you can see, the sun is out now and conditions a lot drier than they were at the start of the event, although we still have that very strong westerly wind blowing across the track. And so your race leader David Loudon beginning to open up a substantial lead on Sam Sibbald in 2nd spot. 1984 class, of course, have another 2 races before the end of the race programme. So there's your leader David Loudon in 1st spot. Number 24 coming round, that's Sam Sibbald on his TT 500 Yamaha. So as a race leader comes round to complete another lap, it's still David Loudon, number 75, who is well in front of this pre-1984 class race here at Carnduff Farm. Of course, our round 5 event after This race meeting will of course be at the superb Thornhill racetrack near Dumfries in early July. So if you fancy heading towards one of these classic race events, just go to the classicscrambles.com website for all your information and our current dates for 2019. So we're looking at our race leader in this pre-1984 class. It's David Loudon, who seems to have opened a substantial lead now on Sam Sibbald. Should be an easy run to the checkered flag for number 75. Sam Sibbald there, number 24 in second spot. But it looks like another win for number 75, David Loudon, in this pre-1984 class, with Sam Sibbald on that TT500 Yamaha in second position. So next up we're back to the over 60s class for their second race of the day. Each class has of course 3 races in this part of the programme. So as our race starter and club secretary Queen Bell waits to get the OK from the travelling marshal, we will get this second over 60s class race underway. Looks like everything's good and track looks clear. As you can hear, that wind was absolutely howling throughout the day. Just about good to go. So as the riders leave the line for this second over 60s race, another good start for Archie Baird on the CZ. Number 180, Stuart Riddle, has also made a decent start on his twin port 360 CZ. These CZs of course are very popular bikes for racing at these classic and twin shock events. There doesn't seem to be enough of these good CZ bikes to go around, but still Archie Baird in first spot, Stuart Riddle in second. It looks like Kenny Harper going through on yet another CZ. Peter Dobinson there, number 41. But here is your race leader. That's Ayrshire man Archie Baird on the 360 CZ. So as our race leader comes towards us, it's still Archie Baird in that coveted first position. Second is still Stuart Riddle, number 164 on the twin port CZ. Looks like Mike Bell is now squeezed through to that third place position, with Kenny Harper currently sitting in the fourth. But as we look towards the far side of the track, Clifford Hardesty there, number 72. Peter Dobinson just been passed by Kenny Harper, number 118 on the CZ. As you can see, the track gradually drying out ever so slightly and making it a much more user-friendly racetrack for these classic riders. And so as the remainder of the pack make the turn, Kenny Harper going through there, number 118, Peter Dobinson, 41 on the Rickman Triumph. So as we look at Peter Dobinson and Kenny Harper dicing at the far side of the track, that doesn't look like either rider wants to give up that position, but looks like Kenny has managed to stick his CZ in front of that British-made Rickman Triumph of Peter Dobinson. So there is your second placed rider, number 164, Stuart Riddle, on that lovely twin port CZ. Mike Bell in third on the Tripsa, and it looks like Clifford Hardesty has moved up into that fourth place position. Stuart, of course, absolutely loves these twin port CZs, the kind of bike that you don't see too much on the classic racing scene at the moment. So as Stuart crosses the line to take the last lap flag, it's still number 180 Archie Baird who is leading this race. Stuart is still in second spot there with Mike Bell looking. In fact, Mike Bell is now your second place rider, but Stuart appears to be having none of it and tries to fight back before the end of this lap. But there is your race leader and winner, number 180. That's Archie Baird on the 360 CZ. Second place looks like it's going to go to Mike Bell on the Tripsa, with Stuart Riddle bringing his twin port CZ home to a fine third place finish. Okay, next up we have the over 50s, over and under 40s class for their second race of the afternoon. Now as they leave the line, it looks like another good start from Derek McCauley on the Bultaco. Robert Kennedy is now out on the Cotton Star Maker. If you remember, Robert in that previous race had electrical problems with the CCM, so he's opted for his backup bike, this very quick and very light little Cotton Star Maker. So as the riders make their way towards us to complete lap 1, it's Derek McCauley on the Bultaco with that very good lead after the first lap. Robert Kennedy still in second on the Cotton Star Maker, and that looks like Brian Aird who is in third position on that BSA. In fact, Ian Robertson has now moved up to third position on the YZ 360 Yamaha. Brian Aird is now down to fourth position. But here's your race leader once again, Derek McCauley from Arbroath in Angus. This fast-flowing layout of this Carnduff track appears to suit Derek down to the proverbial T. So there is your third place man, that's Ian Robertson on the YZ360 Yamaha. Robert Kennedy coming round in second position. Very quick little machine this. It's a 1968 Cotton Star Maker, if my memory serves me right. It's going to be very competitive and very quick little machines with the right rider on board. There's Ian Robertson in third place, number 100. And so as your race leader Derek McCauley comes round to start his final lap of this race, looks like Derek has this race in the bag, barring any off-track excursions or mechanical issues. So there's your race leader, that's Derek McCauley, number 29 on the Voltaco Pursang 250. Still Robert Kennedy here in second place, who has just now been passed by Ian Robertson. So that puts Robert down to third position. So it's another win for our Broth man Derek McCauley on that 250 Voltaco Pursang. Ian Robertson looks like he's going to take that second position for the second over 50s and over and under 40s race of the day. So next up, of course, we are back to the big boys, the Pre and 1984 or twin shock class as they used to be known in the past. So as we await our club secretary, Queen Abel, letting the riders loose from the line. The wind is still absolutely howling around this Carnduff Farm racetrack. So as they leave the line, it's a cracking start for number 43, Andy Malik, but Sam Sibbald appears to have went round the outside and takes the advantage as they head into the turn at the bottom section of the track. So here's your race leader, number 24, Sam Sibbald on the TT500 Yamaha. Sam is having an absolutely cracking day racing here at Carnduff Farm. Kevin Smith going through there on the 250 Michael Spider. Although here is your race leader as he completes lap 1. It's Sam Sibbald on the TT500 Yamaha. Riding extremely well in this pre-1984 class. It looks like David Loudon has now moved up into second place on the YZ490 Yamaha. It's David Loudon in second, Andy Malik on the Armstrong in third, with Mike van der Meer on the Michael in fourth. But it's another lap completed for Sam Sibbald, number 24. Sam appears to have never put a wheel out of place at this round 4 event here at Carnduff Farm, riding very consistently. Of course, these 4-stroke machines ideally suited to these wet and slippy conditions. David Loudon beginning to close the gap on Sam Sibbald, but whether there will be sufficient laps left to take the win, it remains to be seen. But Sam Sibbald crosses the line to start yet another lap. David Loudon has the legs stretched on that YZ490 Yamaha. David Loudon appears to be closing in on Sam Sibbald. Two totally different types of machine. The 4-stroke Yamaha of Sam Sibbald, keeping the Japanese YZ 2-stroke 490 bike of David Loudon at bay. as they head to the far side of the track, it looks like Loudon is going to make that move on Sam Sibbald for this coveted first position, but Sam Sibbald is standing his ground and keeping that number 75 bike behind him. So as they cross the line to complete yet another lap, it looks like David Loudon has now got the advantage of Sam Sibbald. Sam Sibbald appears to possibly just going to settle for that second place position and more valuable championship points towards his 2019 campaign. And there's Andy Malik going through in fourth position. So as our race leader comes round from the bottom section of the track, it's still number 75, David Loudon, who has the advantage over Sam Sibbald in second. And so as our race leader heads towards the finish line to start his last and final lap, it is still David Loudon on the YZ 490 Yamaha who is completely in charge of this pre-1984 class race. So that's David Loudon there on his final lap. Number 17 there is Mike van der Meer coming through to start his final lap. So there is your race leader as he heads towards the checkered flag for yet another win. It's number 75, David Loudon, on the YZ 490 Yamaha. Second place there you see is Sam Sibbald on that TT 500. Okay, next up it's our final over 60s class race of the day as the riders leave the line. Good start from Mike Bell there on the Tripsa as they all head down to the far side of the track. It looks like it's still Mike Bell who has the advantage over Stuart Riddle in second position. It looks like number 180 Archie Baird has now taken that first place position. Mike Bell second, Kenny Harper third, Stuart Riddle fourth, Peter Dobinson in fifth, and Clifford Hardesty, number 72, in sixth. So as they come round to complete the first lap of this final over 60s class race of the day, it's still Archie Baird, number 180 on the 360 CZ. So it's still number 180, Archie Baird from Ayrshire on his 360 CZ, who is still the race leader. Archie appears to have opened a substantial lead on the rest of the chasing pack just after 2 laps. Now there is your second placed rider just coming into shot now. Number 89, Mike Bell of the very famous Scottish motocross racing family. Mike, of course, races these machines, and sons Lewis and Liston also race bikes at these classic events. So as we pick up some of the other riders, that's number 164, Stuart Riddle on the twin port CZ, Peter Dobinson on the Triumph Rickman, looking to try and make a move on Stuart's two-stroke machine. But it's a good battle between Stuart Riddle and Peter Dobinson at the moment. The Czechoslovakian two-stroke bike versus the British-made Triumph. Still very slick and slidey for these riders at the moment. But there's your race leader, number 180, Archie Baird, as he crosses the line on his final lap of this race. Archie has ridden superbly throughout the day on his very reliable Czechoslovakian CZ. As your second place man, Mike Bell, number 89 on the Tribsa. So as your race leader comes round to take the checkered flag, it's another win for Ayrshire man Archie Baird, number 180. Okay, next up we have the penultimate race of the day, the over 50s and over and under 40s class. As you can see, a bit of a decimated field for this second last race of the day, but that is due to bike breakages and possibly rider breakages, but it's always the same in these difficult conditions. The field tends to get a bit thin nearer the end of the race event, but it's a good start from Derek McCauley on that 250 Bultaco Persang. Ian Robertson on the 360 YZ Yamaha in pursuit as they head to the far side of the track. Derek McCauley, of course, has been absolutely superb on this 250 Bultaco all day. Ian Robertson second. That's Brian Aird there, number 71, in third place. But it's still Derek McCauley on the Bultaco, your race leader. Now, although at this point in the proceedings, as you can see, the weather was beginning to improve with the sun shining, but unfortunately that westerly gale force wind never really abated, and but we still got through a full race programme here at Carnduff Farm. But there's your race leader, number 29, Derek McCauley. Ian Robertson is still in second place, number 100. Brian Aird, number 71 on the BSA. Fourth position there, number 49, unfortunately, is unknown to me, but I do apologise for that. So as we look to the far side of the track, we're going to pick up your race leader once again, Derek McCauley. Looks like Derek's heading for yet another win on his little Bultaco. Ian Robertson going through appears to have some kind of exhaust problem with his little YZ. But it's good to see Derek McCauley doing well on this Bultaco. Derek has had a few issues with the Spanish Bultacos in previous classic race events, but he appears to have got everything sorted superbly at this round 4 event here at Carnduff, because he's doing superbly on his little bull tackle. Now coming towards us, that's number 71, Brian Aird on the BSA. So it looks like Derek McCauley has still got that little bull tackle where he wants it, in that coveted first place position, as he heads towards the checkered flag for his final win of the day. Ian Robertson there, still in a good second position. But it looks like another win for the Arbroath man, Derek McCauley, number 29, on his very light and very nimble 250 bull tackle. So that naturally brings us to the final race of the day. This is the pre-1984 class race. Now don't forget, please stay tuned to my YouTube channel, because next week we will be heading over to Northern Ireland for a 2-day classic charity scramble, so look out for all the racing footage from that Irish weekend soon after the event. So as the race leaders come round to complete lap 1 of this final race of the day, it's Sam Sibbald, number 24, on the TT500 Yamaha. David Loudon there, number 75, in second position. Third position going through is Andy Malik on the 500 Armstrong. As you can see, the weather conditions improving by the minute. So we have a good battle going on between the front pairing of Sam Sibbald and David Loudon as they head towards us. It still looks like Sam Sibbald has the advantage over David Loudon's YZ490 Yamaha. Sam Sibbald has been absolutely superb at this racetrack today. David Loudon slipping that YZ490 into top gear. It looks like David has now taken the lead from Sam Sibbald. Now, of course, there's no disrespect to Sam. He has driven absolutely superbly at this event today. But as they come towards us to complete yet another lap, it's David Loudon, number 75, who is beginning to stretch a small lead on the chasing Sibbald, number 24. Number 152 on the YZ Yamaha, unfortunately, is unknown to me, but he also rode superbly throughout the day. So as we look to the far side of the track, it's still David Loudon coming through to already pass some of the back markers in this final race of the day. Sam Sibbald still in second position. So as we catch up with the race leader in this final race of the day at this round 4 event at Carnduff Farm, it is still David Loudon on that very quick 490 Yamaha. Sam Sibbald is still sitting in that second place position as David Loudon crosses the line. Start another lap. Andrew Malik there, number 43 on the Armstrong. And so as our race leader comes towards us to start his last and final lap of the day, that's our race leader, number 75, David Loudon. Looks like this could be yet another win for David on the Yamaha. Sam Sibbald is still in that coveted second position. Andy Malik there, number 43. These big four-stroke Armstrong machines appear to be indestructible. Andrew seems to have unprecedented reliability with that bike. But here is your race leader and race winner for our final pre-1984 class race of the day. It's another win for number 75, David Loudon. So hope you've enjoyed all this racing action from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club's Round 4 event here at Carnduff Farm. Next up, of course, we have our Round 5 event from Townfoot Farm, Thornhill, in July. This video was brought to you in association with WorldSport, the world's #1 supplier for all your off-road and leisure sportswear. Just visit their online website for more details.